So you're thinking of moving to Las Vegas? Maybe North Las Vegas in particular? Well, in this video, we're going to show you everything you need to know about moving to Las Vegas, and especially North Las Vegas. We're going to jump into Google Maps. So let's get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Las Vegas and the Las Vegas real estate market, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap that bell for notifications, and you'll be the first to know for everything that's happening here in the Las Vegas area. Hey, my name's Anthony, and every day my team and I get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to make their move to Las Vegas in the next 9 to 90 days. If you need some help, I would love to give it to you. Just go ahead and shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call, and I'd be more than happy to make sure your move goes as smooth as possible. So like I said, today we're going to jump into Google Maps on my computer, and we're going to look at the city of North Las Vegas, which is in the eastern part of Las Vegas. We're going to take a look at all the renaissance that's going on there. Look, North Las Vegas in the 70s and 80s was kind of a forgotten area of Las Vegas, and it kind of got a little bit run down, but that provided a lot of opportunity. And in the late 80s, early 90s, a renaissance happened there, and it has turned into one of the fastest growing, most affordable areas in all of Las Vegas. Let's quit talking about it and let's work some magic and get into my computer and on Google Maps right now. Okay, so we are now here in Google Maps on my computer, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at everything you need to know about North Las Vegas and how it relates to the rest of the city. So as we've talked about before, if you've watched any of my other map videos or seen any of the videos on this channel, you'll know that Las Vegas is actually kind of a small area. We've only got about 28 miles from north to south, and the east to west, or west to east, is only 25. If you go to the edge of Henderson, 26 miles. So it's a pretty compact area. You think, oh my gosh, there's so much desert, why aren't we more spread out? Well, a lot of it has to do with where that land that you see all around, that land is controlled by the Bureau of Land Management. They release it as the population grows. More of that will be released, but we're talking a long way in the future. Right now, we're in that little area, but that makes it really nice because we have so much going on in that small, compact area that it makes getting around and getting to everything super simple, super fast, super easy. So let's take a look here. North Las Vegas is this northeast area of Las Vegas here, if you can see. It goes from a street called Decatur all the way out to the edge of civilization, basically, as it is right now. And it goes down here to the south. It goes to a street called Lake Mead. So it takes up this whole quadrant of Las Vegas. Now this northeast quadrant here is actually a big part of the geographic area of the Las Vegas area, and it does have a lot of things happening there. So there's a couple different freeways that you need to know about here in Las Vegas. If you're coming from California, you know the 15 well. You just come up the 15, it splits the city basically in half, goes right through the Strip, which is right here, and it takes you all the way up through North Las Vegas and out through the desert to Mesquite, and then to St. George, Utah, and the rest of Utah. So, that's one of our main thoroughfares. Now, the other things that make Las Vegas amazing to get around is the 215 Beltway. Now, the 215 Beltway takes from North Las Vegas, it goes from the 15 and the 215. So the Beltway is called the 215, okay? So you take this 215 and it makes a big perimeter around the city. Goes right here, down here into Henderson, and then goes ahead and clicks on the 95 and 515 that way. So you get the 15 up here, the 215 all the way down to the 95, 215. So here you go. Here's the 95, 215, and it comes down here. There's one here, one there. So it's very simple to get around the entire Las Vegas area. We have great freeway systems, and the traffic, if you're coming from California, the traffic here, our rush hour traffic is less traffic than a Sunday on the Sepulveda Pass or down in Orange County, down in Irvine. It's less traffic than that. It's like a Sunday afternoon there in our rush hour. So even though there's traffic, it's still very navigable and very easy to get around and get around quickly. You can get from one side of the city to the other in under a half hour. We're also laid out as a grid, as you can see here. So our streets basically go west to east, north to south, and you can find your way using any of these little side streets. There's a few major ones. You'll get to know them, you'll learn them, and you can navigate your way around the city in no time. It's very simple, and you're close to everything. So let's talk about where North Las Vegas is in comparison to some of the landmark things that you want to do here. First of all, there's the Strip, right? So the Strip is this 3.5 miles of area on Las Vegas Boulevard. West side, you have Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. Used to be called Industrial. Now they just kind of all merged together into those three names. And on the east side, you have a couple streets, Koval and Paradise. You learn those couple of streets, and if you never want to go on the Strip and drive through the traffic of the Strip, you never actually have to. You can get to where you want to on the Strip without ever going on the Strip. Just a little pro tip for you. So getting there from North Las Vegas is super simple. Because the 15 rides right through North Las Vegas, it's super simple. You just grab the 15, you get on here, and you can take it to Charleston all the way up to Tropicana, and you're on the Strip. Very simple, very easy to get to. It's what Las Vegas is known for, but when you move to Las Vegas, yes, you're going to go spend time on the Strip. You're going to go out for dinners and nice nights out, and you're going to take your guests there because that's where they want to go. That's what they know about Las Vegas. But once you get outside and you start to live in Las Vegas, it's very rare that you are going to go to the Strip unless you're a professional gambler or something like that. Or like I said, you want to go out for a night, you want to go enjoy some of the shows, you want to take your friends who come into town, and you will have no shortage of friends coming into town just when you move here. That's just part of the gig here because, look, Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. We draw 42 million visitors a year into this little tiny area that we call Paradise, and hopefully you will too soon. It's a fantastic place to live, but there is so much more to it besides this little tiny strip of Las Vegas. So let's talk about what else there is. This has become a sports town. Now, when you're in North Las Vegas, immediately what you have closest to you is the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now we have a couple big races every year. They also do a lot of events at the Speedway, but this is literally in your backyard. Just one of the coolest places to go. The other thing is I'm a sucker for Christmas lights. I have a 7-year-old daughter, so I've come to enjoy them even more as a dad. In Las Vegas, there's there's a couple of really cool places. But the two big places for Christmas lights are Enchant Christmas, which is at the Las Vegas Ballpark in Summerlin. And then the Las Vegas Motor Speedway has millions of lights, and they set up this big thing, and you drive through this light display. Fantastic, a lot of fun. And it's right in your backyard if you move to North Las Vegas. Now, North Las Vegas, let's go back a little bit. North Las Vegas in the 70s and 80s was a little bit of a forgotten area of Las Vegas. Now, North Las Vegas is its own city. So it has a different governmental structure than Clark County, the rest of Las Vegas for the most part, with the exception of Henderson and the actual city of Las Vegas, which is like this big. There was a little bit, like I said, in the 70s and 80s where it kind of got beat down a little bit forgotten. But then what that did is it created opportunity. So in the 90s, in the early 2000s, there was a huge renaissance, and that renaissance and revitalization continues to this day and makes North Las Vegas one of the most prolific growth areas in all of Las Vegas. Housing is very affordable in North Las Vegas. In fact, single-family residence resales range from, at this time, about $200,000 and $250,000, in that mid-200 range. But there is nothing more than $700,000. So you can get a fantastic home in a nice area for under $700,000. A couple thousand square feet, 5 bedrooms. There's so much great inventory that comes up. And this is a hot market, so it's not as available as it normally is. But there are some great properties that you should look at. What else is happening is there's a lot of new construction and new development going on here. So North Las Vegas, like I said, 70s and 80s kind of forgotten, 90s through late 90s through now, it's really become a hot place to live. Couple of different reasons. So right here is the Aliante Casino and Resort. This anchored everything. Okay, so Aliante came in and built this beautiful casino, and it really is a nice casino. It's one of the best local casinos in the city. It's top notch in every aspect. It looks just like any of the hotels on the Strip that you would think of. It's the quality and finishes are that good there. It's a fantastic place. So they came in and built this fantastic resort. Then on top of that, what they did is they brought in 2 master plan communities. So those 2 master plan communities are the Aliante master plan community, which is up here, and this is where the Aliante Resort is. So this is the Aliante master plan community. Fantastic homes. You're very close to everything. Everything is newly built, and there's a lot of continued new construction in this area. The other one that was built at that time was the El Dorado master plan. So that's right next to it. You can see right here. Again, fantastic development. That is completely built out. So all there are is resale homes there, but you can get some fantastic resale homes. Again, in a really affordable price point with bigger lot sizes, more square footage, in general, less per square foot than a lot of other places in Las Vegas. This is what sparked the revitalization and renaissance here in North Las Vegas and made it into what's really just a powerhouse of the Las Vegas area now. The other thing is, in this area, you have the desert here. There is a little bit more room here. What you had was a lot of big companies come in and move their you are also, because of the 15, there's a lot of distribution centers. If you look at here, there's 3 major employers that came here. There was the Sephora Distribution Center. Okay, now Sephora has a 750,000 square foot distribution center right here in North Las Vegas to serve a lot of the Southwest, a lot of California, a lot of the other region to the east and south of us as well. In addition to that, you have the Amazon Fulfillment Center, which is almost 900,000 square feet. And if you live here and you get an Amazon and you order our Amazon Prime, and you look on your app, you're always going to look and you're going to see that things start their journey to your house by making it to the Amazon Fulfillment Center in North Las Vegas. This is the hub for the area, and it employs a ton of people, just as Sephora does. The other big one that is here is the Bigelow Aerospace. Now, Bigelow Aerospace was one of the initial places that opened up here, and it's opened by Bob Bigelow. He at one time owned Skinwalker Ranch, if you're into that kind of stuff, which I kind of am. So he's really connected. He's very in the same lane as Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all of those others like a SpaceX. Bigelow Aerospace is one of the top, 5 independent aerospace companies in the world, and they hire a ton of people here. Now, because there is so much more room to build large places, you're getting a lot of tech companies moving here. You're getting a lot of the manufacturing in this area all around here. This is just a renaissance for great jobs, and that means all this housing is getting in more demand as more and more companies come here. The potential for some increases over time. In fact, last year, this area was one of the most active areas for resale properties. A lot of properties were selling in this area, primarily the Aliante and just south of it, the Aliante Master Plan Community, El Dorado, and the south area there. These are some really hot zip codes for retail sales, for property sales right now. But let's get back to it. I kind of digress there. So where are we? We got the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So what about things like going to the Vegas Golden Knights? Now, this is a huge hockey town now. All of a sudden, we went from not knowing what ice is to being, you might as well be here for 100 years as the Winnipeg Jets, because this town lives and breathes hockey, and our Vegas Golden Knights, because they were born and raised here, is the team we all love. So they play at T-Mobile Arena, which is right here. Because the 15 crosses through North Las Vegas, it makes it super easy to get to. Now, there is a little congestion. This is one of the most congested areas, more congested than the 95 or the 93 or the 215. The 15 going through this strip area is a little more congested, so you just leave yourself a little bit more time. But it's super simple to get there. You just jump on the 15 and you get off on a Russell Road or a Tropicana, and you're right there at the game. Again, here is where the Raiders play, the brand new Allegiant Stadium, multi-billion-dollar stadium, 65,000 square feet. In 2024, we're going to host the Super Bowl. In fact, they had to get a special waiver from the NFL because the NFL requires a Super Bowl host 70,000 seats. Allegiant Stadium only has 65,000, but it is such a fantastic stadium. They granted us that waiver, and now in 2024, we are going to have the Super Bowl right here in Las Vegas. Let me tell you another thing about the NFL and why the NFL thinks that Las Vegas is so hot. The NFL is opening its very first NFL store. Okay, so yes, teams have stores all over the country, but the NFL itself is opening their first store. They could have chose New York, they could have chose Miami, they could have chose LA, but they decided that Las Vegas had the biggest impact for the NFL retail store division, and that's where they wanted to put their flagship, and that's going into Caesars Palace, into the Forum Shops. It is amazing, and one of the things, it just tells you that everybody's looking at Las Vegas as the market to go to and grow from, and grow outwards. Las Vegas is a booming market. It is a growth market. It is a market that has a lot of development to continue and to grow from over time. Our per square foot price is significantly lower than if you're looking in a California, if you're looking in a New York. You can get so much more house. We have brought in so much more manufacturing, so much more high-tech jobs here. It's not everybody works at the hotels anymore. It used to be that way, but it's not that way anymore. Las Vegas really is becoming a burgeoning metropolitan, and you can still get in while the going is good here. So then our other location that you might want to go to is the ballpark. This is the Las Vegas ballpark. Fantastic place to go. They have activities there all year round. It's not just our minor league baseball team there during the summer, but they have things like I talked about Enchant Christmas. They do during the Christmas and holiday season. They have soccer there. They have all kinds of things there. It's a fantastic place to go and just hang out. It's also right next to, and we'll talk about in a second, downtown Summerlin. So it's just part of that whole complex. But it's super easy to get to there as well. From here, depending on where you are in North Las Vegas, you would jump on the 215 up here and you would just take it around. It's literally a 15 to 20 minute drive and you're at the ballpark. You get off on Charleston right here off of the 215 or Sahara on the other side. Super easy to get to from there. Like I said, Vegas is very easy to get around and there's so much here. That being said, let's look at where do you go to shop? What about the malls? How about the malls in general? So there's a couple big malls here. If we'll start over this way. So we were just here at downtown, the Las Vegas ballpark. This is also downtown Summerlin. So Summerlin is another suburb of Las Vegas, and it has some of the great shopping, great locations. It's another master plan community in the area. The price point is a little bit higher than in North Las Vegas, but it has a lot of great amenities that you can go and take advantage of. So right here is downtown Summerlin. There's a Nordstrom Rack. There's a Macy's, a Dillard's. There's over 1 million square feet of retail there. There's also office complexes. It is truly the downtown of Summerlin, and as such, it's a great outdoor mall that has a lot of activities for you to get to. And you would do basically the same thing. You jump on the 215, you come around, like I said, and get off on Charleston or Sahara, and you'd be right there. Now, if you want to go outlet shopping, we have two great outlets, and they both are on the high end and the low end of the strip. So out here on the northern end is the premium outlet malls. This is an outdoor outlet mall. It's right off of Charleston and Las Vegas Boulevard. It has all the great retailers that you're looking for, great prices. It's very simple to get there. You would jump on the 15 and get off right there. If you want to go to South Premium Outlet Malls, okay, and this is actually an indoor mall. And this, again, is on Las Vegas Boulevard, but it's right at the end of what we consider the Strip, and it's near the airport, super easy to get to. Same thing, you jump on the 15, take it all the way through, and get off right by the airport. Boom, you're there. So you have two sets of outlet malls. So outlet mall shopping is fantastic. Now, let's talk about if you want to go to the fancy malls, right? The Fashion Show Mall is right here, and this is right in the dead middle of the strip. Again, though, super easy to get to. You just take the 15 through North Las Vegas, and you take it all the way to Spring Mountain, and you're right inside of the mall's parking lot. It is that simple. It's maybe a 10-minute drive. It's got all the big stores. You have a Saks, a Neiman Marcus, a Nordstrom, Dillard's. It's got Louis Vuitton. It has all the big names there. And because it services those 41 million tourists who come in to this 3.5 miles every year. But for us living here locally, it's also a fantastic place to go. And once you know how to get there easily and you just get off of the 15 on Spring Mountain, you're right there. It's a great place to go. Now you'll see right down the street from that is the Boulevard Mall. Now the Boulevard Mall is cool. The Boulevard Mall back way in the day in the 80s and 90s was a happening retail mall. It's now become more of an entertainment destination. They have a really cool aquarium there to take your fish-loving compatriots there. It's just a fun little place to go and do stuff. So that also, you take the 15 and boom, you're right there. Now, the other big traditional mall is this mall, which is the Galleria at Sunset. Now, the Galleria at Sunset is what you would think of as your traditional mall. It is a indoor mall, almost 1 million square feet, has all the big shops as well, all of the things that you would expect to have at a mall. And getting there, again, everything is so simple to get to. That's the crazy part. So you could either get on the 15 to this area. Now let me warn you about this area, okay? This is the area where you would get the most traffic in the city. This is called the Spaghetti Bowl. This is where the 15, the 95, the 515, they all meet up in this one little area. This is where Fremont Street is, right down here. This is OG Las Vegas. It's hairy in comparison to Las Vegas hairy. So it's maybe a 5-minute delay. You're not sitting there for 45 minutes like you are on the Sepulveda Pass. It just doesn't happen here. So let's look at what is in North Las Vegas itself, okay? So there's a couple things that we all need to know where they are. So where's our Costco or Sam's Club here in North Las Vegas? Now, our Costco is actually right outside the city limits. So there's a Costco right here on Decatur. It borders North Las Vegas, but it's super easy to get to from anywhere in the North Las Vegas area. Then if you come here on our more southeasterly side, there's a Sam's Club right here. In fact, I just went to that Sam's Club the other day. It is a fantastic Sam's Club, really nice thing. And if you haven't been to a Sam's Club is very much like a Costco, but it's the Walmart version of Costco. It is Walmart owned, so you can get a lot of great deals there, but very similar to a Costco. What about Targets? Are there any Targets in North Las Vegas? Well, there are two. There is one right here, right along the 215 Beltway. Right dead in the center of North Las Vegas and the 215. So that makes it really easy to get to. And there's also one right by that Costco if you're on the west side of North Las Vegas. So you got Target coverage no matter where you are. Then let's just check out, there are 3 different Walmarts in the area. There's a Walmart in, again, that same little area. You'll find where the Costco, the Target, and a Walmart, all right there. Then you have one in the southwest corner of North Las Vegas, and you can get to that one. It's right on Lake Mead, and then a little bit north of that on Craig Road. So you've got Walmarts all over here. You've got your Sam's Club there, a Costco, Target. You can't ask for much more. There are also the Shadow Creek Golf Course. I think there's a second golf course here. You also have, I think, 15 different parks that are owned by the city here. Like I said, just a fantastic place to be. There's a lot of real good reasons to move to North Las Vegas. Affordability being one of them. You can get into some really great homes still in that $300,000-ish range and really develop a nice home and a nice area there. I hope this gives you a little bit of an overview of what's going on in North Las Vegas, where it is in comparison to everything else, and how you can get around and get to the places that you want to go quickly and easily. I think that covers it for today. And, we've got lots of other videos. We've got a vlog video where we walk through some of the homes here in North Las Vegas and the neighborhoods. We have a pros and cons video about North Las Vegas. We also have videos on just about every other suburb and neighborhood within the Las Vegas area. Look, Las Vegas is a fantastic place to live, and I hope to see you here and call you neighbor soon. So until I see you then, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.